Welcome to Nordic Game 2013. We are one life left, broadcasting once again from a balcony. I'm Steve Curran.
I'm at Simon Byron on a balcony.
And I'm Anne Canterbury on a balcony.
How's it going?
It's going good, isn't it? We've got quite the view here. We can see everybody. I mean, literally, we can see everybody.
We should explain where we are. We're at Nordic Game, which is a video game conference in Malmö, Sweden.
Malmö.
Sorry?
Malmö.
Okay.
Turns out we've been saying it wrong.
Malmö.
After how many times have we done this?
Twice.
Yeah.
This is the first full day of the conference. So after last night's adventures at the Indie Night, today has been a packed full of people talking about video games.
Now, yesterday we were at the Indie Nights and we were on the floor amongst the games, but today we have been elevated.
We're above them.
We are above the games, so we're in a big, long, red brick corridor, and below us are all kinds of trade show style stands. I can see one from Unity, they're opposite us, Sony, Game Founders.
And guess who's back under us, Steve?
Who is underneath you, Anne?
Rovio. The makers of Angry Birds.
Yeah, they were there last year. They were apparently first to book the space again this year.
What a surprise.
Which the organisers were selling at a premium, given the skirt that you're wearing, Anne.
Great. That's great.
They are bad piggies down there, aren't they?
They are indeed.
So, have you had a good day, both of you?
I've had a brilliant day.
Yeah, full up, are you?
We started today off with going to see a talk.
We did.
By Tim Schafer.
Tim Schafer, introduced ably by Simon Parkin.
Now, we were a bit worried about this last night, weren't we?
I'm not sure if we mentioned it on air, but...
I think we did.
Did we?
Because Simon explained yesterday on air that he was a fan of Tim Schafer's game, The Cove. Tom Schafer.
He failed to mention that one in the intro, yeah.
He did a brilliant job reading out his Wikipedia page, I thought, and also did a fantastic job of swearing in it, which we can't repeat.
Really?
Yeah, he, so as well as running through the life of Tim Schafer, he then drew attention to the fact that Tim once called Bobby Kotick of Activision a total beep.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Was part of his intro. But, so Simon did that pretty well.
Did the swearing go down well?
Got a laugh.
Yeah,
so we can conclusively reveal that swearing is funny.
Okay, good.
Yep.
We're not allowed to swear, which explains a lot.
It does. Yes, Tim's talk was excellent, I thought. He was talking about, it's just basically stuff he's done. How his life at LucasArts, why he left. He left when he didn't recognise one of the members of staff. He realised the company got so big.
That's terrible if you have Alzheimer's.
Isn't it?
You're just going to keep leaving jobs over and over again.
Exactly. And he showed a picture of the Skywalker Ranch.
Not supposed to do that.
Which he wasn't supposed to do. And he discussed Kickstarter and how things are changing for game developers and stuff like that. I thought it was pretty interesting. He got lots of laughs. He was pretty funny, Anne, wasn't he?
He was very good, very charismatic.
That was a great way to start the conference proper.
Yeah. We've also been to see another talk today altogether. But maybe we won't discuss that because we might have
the guest on.
So
it remains one of the nicest conferences we've been to this morning.
Just so lovely.
We were queuing to get our badges, and Tim Schafer was on about. He was on at 10 o'clock. Did you hear about this, Steve?
I did not hear.
So there was a lot of bustle in the registration area, and Anne and I had walked across, and time was getting a little tight. And then all of a sudden, Jacob pipes up. Hey, everybody, don't worry about the badges. Just come on in because you're going to miss Tim. Come on, sort your badges out later.
Amazing.
Just come on in, guys. And You wouldn't see that at GDC, would you?
wouldn't.
No, you would not.
See that at the Develop Conference in Brighton, would you?
No.
Furious people on the door saying, can't come in here.
Yeah, I'm got a
Can't get
badge. Yeah. So, that was a nice way to start the conference.
It's a lovely way.
We're not saying don't buy a badge for Nordic Game, you'll get in anyway.
Yeah, exactly, next
Buy
year.
a badge, probably give them more money because
Yeah.
they're such nice people.
Exactly. Yes, that's been good. So we've got another hour above the show floor, so we're going to try and grab some people. Have we got any other objectives?
Interesting. I think that we should probably try and get jobs.
Okay.
Because everyone seems so
Everyone.
nice over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to not just do this for 2 days a year, but
Okay,
actually
all
to
the days.
live the life.
Surely an objective must be to get hold of one of these Bad Piggies hoodies that apparently now
yeah.
look, have they just given them out
Everyone's
over
got
there? So get a job, get a green hoodie. Anything else?
I mean, maybe try and produce some quality radio.
I don't know.
Let's give that a go. Okay, so we're going to play some music and then see how we get on. Okay, welcome back to Nordic Game 2013. We're One Life Left, broadcasting live on Resonance 104.4 FM.
We should explain, it's quite an unusual setup for us today, not just because we're on a balcony, but 2 reasons. One, I'm not at the desk, I'm not driving the show today.
Anything could happen.
We have a competent man doing that for us. And secondly, we're standing up.
We are.
It feels very strange to be standing and talking.
Isn't that how Chris Moyles broadcasts, isn't it, standing up? I know it is. I
but
believe.
he's dead. He doesn't do it anymore.
You don't die when you stop broadcasting.
Whoa.
Right, so and also it's not just us anymore.
No.
We're delighted to be joined by Klaus. Klaus, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good.
It's a bit of it's a tiny bit of a route to get here, and I was slightly concerned because so I just dashed down. I'd met Klaus earlier in the day and said that we were going to do this. Like, yeah, come on, follow me. So we ducked past the crowds, turned left, and then...
But you were taking me to the ladies' room.
Well, this is it. So actually, to reach the balcony, you have to step through what looks like the toilets.
Yeah.
And I realised that actually at the point... So there were people milling around, just sort of sat around doing business and stuff. I turned around and you were like, oh, sorry, just to check, it is Klaus, isn't it? As I led you into the door that looked like the toilets.
Whoa.
I wondered what people think we're doing in here.
Yeah.
So, Klaus, what do you do?
Well, I do make games, actually.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm here to show a game called Stick It to the Man.
Stick it to the man. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Stick It to the Man is a mind-reading game. So basically, you have a giant pink arm sticking out of your head. And right. And there's a really funny pink arm here at the show also.
Yep.
I actually drew it myself.
Did you?
Yes, I did. It's true. Anyway, so the mind-reading game basically have a giant pink arm sticking out of your head, and you can shoot it into anybody's brain and hear what they're thinking.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So we got like
this arm. It looks like one of those jelly arms you used to have
it
as
is,
a kid,
yeah.
right?
That's the
Fling it
inspiration.
around and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
sticks to things.
Right? Yeah, I loved those when I was a kid. So
Okay.
it's my big dream to make a jelly arm game. You know.
So how long have you been working on it?
Actually, I've been trying to sell it for a couple of years.
Right.
But I got it sold last year, and we've been working on it for 8 months now.
Okay. So when's it coming out?
November.
Right.
It comes out on PS3, PlayStation Network, so it's downloadable, and
Great.
it comes out on PS Vita also.
Brilliant.
And then it comes out a little bit later on Xbox, Wii U, and PC and Mac.
Great. So have you guys made anything before? Is this your first game or?
No, we made quite a lot of games.
Do you?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So which ones?
Well, we just actually released a game today called Wiwa.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about Wiwa.
Wiwa is like a sort of a endless runner, but for kids, which is a little cute character. It actually started out as a plush toy game. We actually had a Wiimote that you put inside a plush toy, and you could actually control the character by that. But unfortunately, it was pretty hard to sell to Nintendo, so we decided to change it into an iOS game, and now it's released there.
Great.
Yeah.
How's it doing?
I don't know.
Early days.
Yeah, I just found out it was released.
Must be quite exciting though that on days like this when you log into behind the scenes on the iTunes store and
it's scary.
see the dollars rolling in. Are you based over here?
Yeah, we're based in Gothenburg.
Okay.
So 3 hours north of here.
Right. It's a great place. Have you been to Nordic Game before?
Yeah, been a couple of times. Yeah.
Have you had a chance to see any of the talks today, or have you just been sticking it to the man on the show floor?
I've been just sticking it to the man.
Klaus, you have made a game about mind reading.
Right.
Do you have any personal mind reading abilities, or is it?
Yes, I am reading your mind
Interesting.
right now.
Right. What am I thinking?
What? You're thinking,
I know.
He's crazy.
Oh no, not that. I mean he, but maybe not you.
Right.
And have you ever thought in life it would be useful to be able to reach into someone's brain and see exactly what they're thinking?
Yeah, I think so. Especially when you meet publishers and negotiating deals.
So is there any sort of rivalry down there? There are a few other games being shown.
Rival.
Yeah.
Here, I think it's
Because you're reasonably close to Rovio.
right.
Those guys.
No, that's okay. He's actually a good friend of mine. So that's
Okay.
fine. The guy runs
Last
that.
year they threw Angry Birds at us up here.
Right.
This place is unstable enough as it is.
That sounds pretty funny though.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to think that in some way we were down to, that's where they got the idea from.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yes.
Unfortunately, the timing
That's right.
doesn't quite work, but
Maybe there's going to have a version coming
Maybe it
out.
does for Angry Piggies though.
Right.
We
Bad
were furious.
Piggies.
So
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
just waiting for you to fall down and get some extra score from that.
yeah, exactly. So we are going to have to work on our Rovio goading. So you're just showing, like, if you've got a publisher and all of that sort of stuff. So what are you doing on the show floor? Just spreading the word for it. I mean,
Right, yeah. So
Okay.
it's basically we're starting here and then going outwards. We're going to E3.
great.
2 weeks, I guess it is.
Yeah,
So
it's
we're
not
gonna-
long now.
We're going to show it at the Sony booth. It's going to be interesting. Never done that before, so it's
Right.
really fun.
Yeah, you've been to E3 before, though, have
Yes,
you? Yeah,
yeah.
but the Sony booth is typically very large, very noisy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, and it's a good year to be on their stand, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with
Be able to play you'll be there on the setup days. You'll be able to play on the PlayStation 4s.
Yeah, I'm going to try it out. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Excellent. Do you need a hand with whatever it is you're doing?
Yeah, I need a servant,
Yeah,
actually.
very, very, very happy. Okay, well that's great. Well, thanks for popping up to the balcony and
No problem.
following me to the ladies' toilets.
Yeah, it was nice. It was interesting.
Right, good luck with the game, and I don't think any of us are going to E3 this year, but we'll be sure to watch out for you. And I hadn't heard it was coming to Vita, so is that a One Life Left exclusive?
It's what?
I hadn't heard that the game was coming
Yeah,
to
no,
Vita,
it's-
so
yeah.
this is an exclusive, is it?
It's exclusive to PS3 and PS Vita.
No,
for-
but it's an exclusive announcement for us, exclusive news.
Sure, it's very exclusive.
Excellent.
Really?
There you go.
That's
That's
always
Sorry,
good.
yeah, of
The
course. I
first of our
saved it just for you.
Excellent. Right. Thanks very much, Klaus.
Okay.
Welcome back to Nordic Game 2013. We're still on a balcony overlooking everybody.
We are still One Life Left. We're still a video game radio show.
I just went out to the show floor to try and grab somebody. I was hoping to get Will Freeman up here, and he was very keen to do it. He loves radio. He said, big fan of the medium. He said, so are we. We're going to get on. He said, I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to chat about. I've just been doing meetings. I'm like, we'd love to hear about your meetings. He's like, okay, cool. Just going to go and tell his colleague. Comes back and says, oh yeah, I can't do it. He's gone. He's gone rather than be on, yeah. So he's a trade journalist, so maybe he knew too much.
Can't do it.
But instead, we've got someone from the New Yorker.
Is that where you're from today?
Simon Parkin, welcome back.
Hi there. Hey team, how's it going?
Good, thank you. How are you doing? Is that microphone at the right height for you?
Not really. I'm having to lean in a bit, but that's okay.
Apologies. It's not as comfortable as you're used to, your New Yorker lifestyle. So you kicked off proceedings this morning, didn't you? Look, there's somebody taking a picture of us down there. Hello. Smiling back. Who was that?
No idea.
So yeah, you kicked off proceedings this morning, didn't you?
Well, not really. Tim Schaefer did. And
you introduced him?
Introduced him to stage, yes.
How did that go?
It went pretty okay, I think. I got his name right, which is more than I did yesterday.
That is the main thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you think he's going to feel when he listens to yesterday's show?
Aroused.
What is the process of introducing a man?
Well, I liked it. So I kind of base it on Desert Island Discs.
Right.
And the way Kirsty does it on that, and just basically kind of replace the names.
Can you introduce us?
Not right now, no. It takes me a bit of time to prepare.
Right. Well, write it, and you can come back later and introduce us.
Like tomorrow. So it was a packed. So it was the keynote conference this morning. Yeah, it was a big old theatre, that, wasn't it? Any nerves?
Not really. It was all right. I couldn't really see too far into the auditorium, so that was all right.
It was an unusual setup, Anne and I thought, actually, because when I said that you kicked off, like you introduced a bit that everybody had come to, but prior to that,
yes,
there was the chap who runs this place. He's not Jacob, but Jacob's boss, I think.
Yeah.
Eric, I think.
Eric. He was on stage
with a K.
Yeah, and he. His introduction was unusual, I thought, but what was odd about it was that he then handed over to another man who was sat facing him on the stage. And what was his name? Was it Oscar or something like that?
Yeah.
And so he was Thomas.
Yeah.
You're well in here, aren't you? So Thomas. He introduced Thomas, and I didn't understand the purpose of why there was a man sat on an ordinary chair facing the screen taking notes. But yeah, it turns out that's his job for the conference, is to take notes for everybody.
Really?
So we don't have to.
He's like the kid you wanted in class, really.
Everyone copies his homework.
Yeah.
I see.
But yeah, and we were sat behind him then. So he was on stage to illustrate what his role at the festival was. And then when you came on, he was moved off. We could see what he was writing about you.
Really? What was it?
Well, he called you Simon Porkin. he admired your trousers.
Really?
Yeah, which, he's only human.
Or what was in them?
So, Simon, what have you discovered about Nordic Game so far?
They have pretty excellent coffee and lots of free water. That's good. Oh, the lunch was excellent.
Oh, was it? Was it?
I hear not everyone on the One Life Left team got to sample that.
No, that's certainly true. But and also, one of us has eaten since then without offering any of that. I mean, at least you were gracious enough to suggest that you could smuggle some baps out with us, which I think was your...
I was going to throw a bap out the door.
Was the phrase that you used. But yeah, no, I mean, it turns out that actually, when you decided that it was every man for himself and that, you were going to go in on your own rather than stay with a team, it turns out that sparked a sort of selfish reaction from other members of One Life Left, who then decided just to sort their own lunch out.
Yes, Steve.
I have not eaten today.
I've not eaten either, Steve, so maybe we could go to dinner together. So lunch was fine, was it?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
What did you have?
It was a Nordic burger with...
What's a Nordic burger?
Well, I mean, it's like a beef burger, but it just tasted more Nordic. It was a different shape.
Okay.
It was thick, more globe-like a squished globe rather than a pancake.
Right, I see.
Yeah, it was tasty.
What else have you been doing today, though?
So I went to see a talk by a guy who made The Room on
I've got
iOS.
Got a pretty strong
opinion.
opinion.
You did, didn't you? Yeah.
I think it's a terrible game.
Right.
I really do think it's awful.
And did he comment on that?
No, I mean, him and his friends used to work at Criterion, I think, and they left and started making this game, and they didn't really think it was going to do anything.
Apple's Game of the Year last year.
Exactly. And
which proves that Apple know nothing about video games.
Why do you hate it so much?
Well, I mean, I really like the idea of it.
It won a BAFTA as well.
Well, and also, don't get me started on that. Shows that BAFTA don't know about video games either.
The only person who knows about video games is Simon.
Well, exactly. Well, it just seems so. It's the bits of it that I played, I probably played an hour of it. I got it in the humble Android bundle, so I'm very glad I didn't pay actual money to it, although I want to retrospectively move the amount of money that goes to the game makers to nothing.
All right.
Give more to charity.
Is he on next?
He is, yeah, exactly. I'm going to be very pleasant about it. No, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at him and I'm going to go, well, look, I know what I need to do with you, but I'm going to need to sort of, like, very fiddly turn him around a bit and then look for, and sort of prod him, like, until something happens by accident. And then it goes, oh, right, you've opened the next lock. Now do that essentially again. Was that what his talk was about?
No, not really.
What was it about then?
I mean, he was just talking about the process of making the game,
Right.
less about what you do in it,
Right,
which
okay.
you've illustrated so wonderfully for us there.
Yeah, no, I don't know, not nice idea. It seems like a pretty smart puzzle game, but not for me.
He seemed like
There
a
we
nice
go.
guy, and it was good to hear a success story on Apple, on iOS. That was kind of, from
British.
from a British, but from a team that kind of didn't really have any inroads there, didn't have a publisher or anything like that. So
Yeah, and I guess the challenge now is how, because, as you said, they didn't realise it was going to be a success, and it went beyond their wildest dreams. So it's a very difficult thing to engineer, that, isn't it? Like, to go out. Who were we talking to last night? The Ridiculous Fishing, 100,000.
Flambeer.
Yeah, they were. How does this happen? What I'm saying is, why haven't we made a game that's got 100,000?
Right, first we need to make a game, then we can make the money.
So that was good. Anything else that you've done?
yeah, just to let you know, that's the first entry in a trilogy. You'll be pleased to know.
God.
So yeah,
Really. What's the sequel called? The House.
I'm not sure. Cube 2, maybe Room 2.
Room 2.
Is that it?
Rooms.
The room, yeah. Room. Nice. Double bedroom.
So have you done anything else, Simon?
No, I'm about to go to a Sony talk in a minute, which is for people who developed for PlayStation 4, of which I am not one. But I figured some news might happen.
Do you claim to make PS4 games then? Like in order to get in? Hello, Simon Parkin, PS4 game maker.
Got the dev kit under my arm.
Exactly. And I've made loads.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
See what they say.
Have you got
You
any?
should try and bluff them.
Yeah.
You should ask a question. Go, what are you doing with the bit we can't talk about? And they'll say, well, and then you might get a few hints.
Yeah, that's good. This is good.
Yeah.
You could read out the text by the Eurogamer Digital Foundry guides who just baffle me with their language. They talk about why Xbone is going to be good is because as predicted it's using this sort of stuff. I'm like, does it play games? We're not sure. Yeah, just go and read out some of their Twitter timeline. I would see if you get any recognition that way.
Yeah, he just did an Xbone kind of rundown, didn't he? That's there. I read it. I got about halfway through and got quite lost.
Is this a thing now?
What?
The Expo?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
Yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And it's still PS4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you all right with that?
I'm going to need some time to think about it. Xbone.
Yeah.
How do Microsoft feel about it?
Well, apparently they have actually issued a set of guidelines on how to refer to their console. Of course they have.
So, and presumably is this like Coblops again? You're not allowed to say Coblops.
Yeah.
Never say Coblops. Okay, Coblops.
It is a bit like that. Yeah, no, because I read their last ones where they say that you actually if there's for the first console that they made, they had an official way of referring to more than one of them.
Xboxen.
Yeah, because you weren't allowed to say Xboxes.
What? How?
Well, first of all, you weren't allowed to refer to it as Xbox. It was supposed to be X. And if you notice, any of the press releases at the time referred to it as Xbox, the entertainment console from Microsoft, or something like that. And so there's a huge style guide about how to refer to more than one of them, which is ironic, given how few of these that they're about to sell, according to Internet Reaction.
Oh no, you didn't.
You really did.
Yeah.
Good. Well, have fun, Simon Parkin.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for coming on. We'll see you tomorrow, shall we?
Who's on next?
I think I'm going to go and grab the men that are making board games down there,
Oh, excellent. Okay.
who very strategically, and we won't bring this up with them, have positioned their stall next to the ladies' toilets.
to Nordic Game.
What's going on beneath you, Steve?
I can see the Angry Piggies guys. They've got those lime green hoodies that they seem to be. Bad Piggies guys.
Angry birds. Come on, Steve. These animals all have their own emotions.
They need better branding. If I looked at, and actually they have a lot of merch, don't they?
They do have a lot
So
of merch.
much merch.
Opposite them is the Sony stand that says Make Believe, and they've got a Perspex cube full of water to illustrate the waterproof nature of their tablets and phones, which they've had to remove, presumably, because they're no longer waterproof. I don't know, it seems strange to make such a big... That's...
What do you mean? I can see the...
Well, in that, earlier, was a Sony tablet to show that it's waterproof.
Oh, right, it's not there now.
It's no longer there.
It's not theft-proof.
Who are you? Who are you?
Oh, hi, I'm Matt Bach.
Hello, Matt Bach.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm great. I'm glad to be here.
How many hours have you been awake for?
I think we're coming on 30-something.
Excellent.
I stopped counting.
Are you feeling well?
I'm feeling great.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
Your talk was very good.
Well, thanks.
You should explain who you are and what you're doing here. I mean, obviously we know.
Of course. I'm Matt. I've been on the show a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a designer at Harmonix Music Systems. I designed a franchise of dancing games for the Xbox 360.
Excellent. And what was your talk here about?
My talk here was about gender performance in dancing games and how that's regulated by societal norms, and then postulating gameplay that could exist about the player having influence over societal norms as a game mechanic.
Yeah, it was really interesting. So you showed the first motion capture session from Dance Central, which was
Salt and Pepper's Push It.
right.
Why would you choose anything else?
Yeah, obviously. And it was a female performer, but with a male character. That was right, wasn't it? And
Indeed.
sort of went from there. And then you showed Mass Effect 3 video, which overlaid a female Commander Shepard with a male Commander Shepard, which to illustrate the differences there. And it was absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, that was a great find. Someone had used a hack in the Mass Effect PC version of the game where they could overlay two characters at once. So that's all running in real time.
Right.
They're just talking at the same time just by editing script.
So can you explain what happens in that video?
So what happens in that video is Commander Shepard is being sent off to do the next heroic thing Commander Shepard needs to do. And what you see is two versions of Commander Shepard occupying the same screen space. They're sort of cutting in and out of each other, almost like they're two ghosts overlapping each other. And over the course of the scene, they're almost moving exactly in unison, except for one moment when Commander Shepard's superior tells him he might have put on a little bit of weight, or tells her she might have put on a little bit of weight, and taps Commander Shepard's belly. And the male Commander Shepard just sort of brushes off his belly and walks away, and the female Commander Shepard takes both of her hands and looks down and takes a moment to pause and then keeps going. And everywhere else in the entirety of the scene, the animation is locked. The VO is completely synced. But in that one moment, just because of what it means for a man to touch a woman, the animators changed what the animation was, which is rare for Mass Effect.
Yeah.
There's an implication of pregnancy there as well. Like
A little
the
bit, yeah,
statement
totally.
that you've put on a bit of weight and that sort of tender grasp of the belly, which completely changes it from the same line. If this was a strictly linear piece of fiction, if that was in a TV show, that's definitely what the kids on Tumblr would be assuming was happening, right? They would be gossiping about that.
And I almost missed it the first time I watched through that video. It's so subtle.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, the implication of pregnancy and just the touch is just reads a different way.
You also spoke a little bit about Dragon Age 2, which I've yet to play, and I'm a little wary of now. It just sounds like there's some guy that's going to hit on me no matter what.
There is a guy that will hit on you no matter what.
You're an attractive man,
Well,
Simon.
he's only human, isn't he? So.
What are you doing later?
Not going for dinner, apparently.
Exactly. Yeah, and that was that was interesting. The guy that made it said that he probably wouldn't do that again. So
I think there's two things happening there, right? So one is a lot of RPG players are trying to maximize their possible output from the system. And one of the things they were really mad about this encounter was that if they said no, that reduced their relationship in a numerical fashion with this character.
Right.
And they only want plus points. And there's this way they were forced into a situation where either they had to go on a date with this guy,
Right.
or accept a -5 relationship point impact. People are up in arms because they don't want to do either one of those things.
Excellent.
It's just, in real life, relationships don't have these types of weird numerical ends. However, in the game, that's how it works.
Yeah, and the other thing I didn't realise, which I learned from your talk, was that Microsoft won't let avatars share the same clothes.
Yeah, this is heartbreaking for
Isn't
me.
it? Yeah, it's just like, absolutely. Why is there no bigger deal been made of that?
I mean, there, it's about technical constraints, like the actual proportions of the female avatars versus the male avatars are different.
Okay.
And they could have made a decision to make the proportions the same, make it all compatible, but to go back and try and fix that or to double up all of those assets would be a significant cost.
Right.
However, it's one of those things you need to think about at the point in time which you're making the decision of how your system's going to work, what it does, who it's for, what it means.
I mean, things seem to be improving, though. I think sort of game makers generally are becoming more inclusive. I think so like we're certainly moving out the shadow of the stereotypes that used to be for video games, but we're clearly not there yet.
I think that's true. I think that was like a large part of the story of GDC this year, and hopefully that trend continues. What I don't want to see is people sort of patting themselves on the back saying, like, "Oh, we figured it all out," and then really nothing changing other than like how much we're patting our own backs, which seems like a risk.
I guess a lot of people were quite distressed at the Xbone, which apparently is the thing we're using to describe the new console. People were questioning whether the targeting of that new console seems to be, especially after GDC, which seems so open and this is going forward, we're going to make games for everyone. Everything in that console seemed to be directed at a very specific old vision of early adopters, bro games, basically. Rather, there was a big section on, a lot of the stuff was to do with sport and American football, the rest of it was to do with shooting. And for all the focus on TV and it being an entertainment box, there was very little there to take in people, to track the attention of people outside of that demographic.
I think that's totally true. The compelling features were all fantasy sports related, and it's like when they were showing you that you could watch Star Trek and watch the trailer for the new Star Trek at the same time, it's just like, that is not a use case. No one wants to do that.
Tim Schafer also said this morning that he wanted his games to have emotional merit and weight, and he said that there were ways to do that without just sticking a dog in it.
That was brilliant.
Was good, yeah. So your work here is done. What have you got planned for the rest of the festival?
I'm becoming a One Life Left groupie like I usually do at games-related events.
How can we facilitate you in that?
And beyond that, we were chatting earlier, as you're heading over to E3, you're going to be showing off something new there, aren't they?
Yeah, so we're going to show us out something new.
Excellent.
Well, we're not going to E3, so why not just tell us about it?
Does it have a dog in it?
No.
Can you put a dog in it?
Sure.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you once again for coming on the show. And we're going to see you shortly, obviously. But, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
welcome back to Nordic Game 2013. We're One Life Left, broadcasting live on Resonance 104.4 FM. I just said live, but we're not, are we? We're in a whole other country.
We're broadcasting as live.
As live.
Correct. But we are live at Nordic Game.
We are alive.
And we're alive.
And we're definitely...
And thank goodness we're joined by another live person.
So I popped out to go and grab a desk. There were some guys that can't talk to us today because they're too fried. They said.
Oh.
Yeah, they said, can they do it tomorrow? I said yes, but I meant no. They've missed their chance, haven't they?
Wow.
But instead we've got somebody better and somebody more exciting, I think. John, hello, John.
Hello.
John, you're from GameStick, aren't you?
Yep, I am from GameStick.
Welcome to One Life Left.
Thank you.
So, we should explain what GameStick is.
Yeah, GameStick is an Android-based console, and literally we have our own store with our own content, and the content is brought in by devs, and basically they have to optimize the game for the GameStick, so it's not just a normal Android version. It is actually optimized to work on the GameStick. It's optimized for the controller and for the performance of the actual GameStick.
What does
itself.
it's just a stick.
Well, it's billed as the world's... What is it?
The world's most portable game console.
Right, and look, we've got a prototype.
Oh, what?
Yes.
That's a game stick?
Yes.
That's it.
Right, let's see if I can fit these
Do you
in
want to
my
hold the
pockets.
stick or the game?
Both.
So this is so actually I should let John explain exactly what it is, but so the version that you've got there is not the final one.
No, the version that you guys are seeing is just the dev version, which we are demoing with today here at Nordic Game.
I can confirm that the game stick has gone inside Anne.
Let's go inside
These
Anne.
pockets.
So explain how it works then. So Anne's got 2 bits inside her.
Okay, so
Pockets.
So basically you just plug the stick into your HDMI port of your TV. It's powered you can power it via the mains, via USB on the TV, and also if you have a new TV which has MHL in the HDMI, you can also power it via the MHL as well,
Okay.
which is pretty cool.
So that prototype doesn't have the docking bit for the stick.
No.
Oh, good, because I thought that I wasn't very clever.
No, the dock is a separate. Is a separate product, which is I think it's $30. I think at retail. But the actual controllers, the best feature of the dock is it wirelessly charges the controller, without you having to plug it into another source.
So you guys were a bit of a Kickstarter sensation, weren't you?
We were, we were very successful on Kickstarter.
And now, was it nervy ahead of that? Because obviously the comparisons are Ouya and they launched to a big fanfare and got loads of cash.
And where are they now?
Where exactly? They're not on One Life Left, are they?
Yeah, I mean, it was nerve-wracking. I mean, we had never done a Kickstarter before, so a lot of the guys at sort of Play Jam, the guys who make GameStick, they went on a lot of Kickstarter courses to get a really good sort of background on how to do a successful Kickstarter. But I mean, yeah, we went up on the 2nd of January, and literally within 3 to 6 hours we had our goal already, which was just amazing to have that. I mean, and I think it relaxed everybody, and then we went on to be quite successful on it. So yeah, it went really well, and it opened up a lot of avenues for us after that, which was great.
Talking of opening up avenues, do you have any jobs?
We have loads actually, but no, we're a small team.
Wait, which country are you based in?
We're in London. So.
Amazing.
I mean, we are too, but we're looking for jobs that'll let us move over here.
All right, no.
Oh, no, we could all open up the Swedish chapter, couldn't we?
Yeah.
What's GameStick in Swedish?
GameStick?
GameSticking. So when are you guys out?
So we'll be launching in July. We're exclusive to Game in the UK, and also we'll be stocked heavily in GameStop over in the US as well.
And what's the reaction to it been like over here?
Yeah, it's been quite big. I mean, like sort of been at the sort of booth all day today. There's loads of people coming over, and it's amazing for us for me personally, sort of being a gamer, it's amazing to see Nintendo come over. And Nintendo was so excited that they actually got, they actually literally brought their whole booth over. Everyone from Nintendo come over to play it, which was really amazing.
So are we going to see Mario on the GameStick then?
No, that's definitely not. There's no way they're giving us those IPs.
We can start, isn't it?
But yeah, it's great to have the support of those guys, and they really like the product. And also we had Rovio come over just now from Angry Birds, and even they were excited by it. And it's big guys, so it's good.
Cool.
It's very good for us.
So I've managed to fit it into the pockets of my dress. Where else do you reckon you could fit it?
I think you can fit it anywhere: rucksack, small bags, handbags, purses.
In a purse.
You're being drawn into your trap, and John, thank you ever so much for taking the time to come on One Life Left. Good luck with it.
And thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, if you're launching in June, maybe you should come back on the show when we're back in London.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Great.
Yeah, definitely be great.
We'll see you then.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, the foyer below us seems to have emptied out a bit.
I think there's some talks on, Steve. I think people are in the talks.
People are more interested in talks than watching us.
Well, some people aren't, though, are there? There's a couple of
Hey,
people
you know
down
what
there
I
taking
saw?
pictures.
While we were talking earlier, I saw a man drop a phone in that water
Did
over
you?
there. Yes.
Right.
So it does work.
That's what the water works. does
Yes, it does work.
How was he after that, though? Was
He
he
looked
was
really
Exactly,
distressed.
he was like crying.
Just looking at his phone.
It wasn't even a Sony one.
No, exactly. Right, and it's not just us on the balcony.
No.
We've invited our neighbours up.
Oh.
It's Oscar from Rovio. Hello, Oscar.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I got a bit of a cold, so my voice is a bit weird, but I hope it's fine.
Sorry to hear that. Is that what's known as a show cold?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, lots of people meeting, shaking hands, never a good thing.
Well, thanks for shaking our hands.
That's it.
Welcome to the crowd.
It's chemical warfare between us and Rovio, isn't it? So, once again, we're broadcasting from a balcony which is above the Rovio stand at Nordic Game. We wondered, did you book this space specifically again to be underneath us?
Yes.
Did you?
Are you going to start throwing things at us?
Yeah, last year you...
we like throwing things,
Yeah.
shooting things.
So how's your show going?
Good. Haven't been able to attend that many seminars. It's been a lot of meetings, but it's also always good to get down here and meet all the people you know from the industry, and yeah.
So what are you doing here? What's Rovio's?
I mean, Rovio recently started up a new office in Stockholm, in Sweden. So, as you know, Rovio is a Finnish company,
Yep.
but we started a Swedish branch. So we are here a lot to recruit. I mean, to grow that studio and get to the point where we can actually do more games.
Okay.
So we could get a job with you in your Stockholm office.
Absolutely.
And move over here. Great, because this is one of our aims of our Nordic Game Conference. We want to get jobs and move to Sweden.
What sort of jobs are you offering?
All kinds of developer jobs. So
Okay, that's
programmers,
great.
artists, designers,
What about radio hosts?
radio hosts.
Yes.
We'll see. There's a lot of weird jobs within Rovio
Excellent.
since we're doing a lot of other stuff in
Yeah,
games.
that's-
So maybe we can start a radio show as well.
And what's the pay like?
Don't ask me. Ask the guys below.
So you're obviously doing a good job of spreading the word, because it seems like almost by the hour there are more and more people wearing your green hoodies.
Yeah.
How do you get one of those green hoodies?
Who are
What do
these
you
people?
have to do?
Yeah.
I was actually told these hoodies were for developers only.
Okay, well, good. We're developers.
We're
But-
making a game.
But then I met someone here at the show who had one who bought it at the regular store. So apparently they opened that up, and you could get it anywhere now.
Right, but if you didn't want to buy one, and you were also a developer/radio presenter,
And you were
It's gonna be tricky.
our neighbours.
It's gonna be tricky.
and you know, we could make this balcony drop at any minute.
Things could
That's
fall
a
off.
good
We've
selling
got
point.
radio equipment. It's heavy. No one wants it to fall off the balcony.
So
But
what
it
else?
could.
So what else is going on at Rovio at the moment then? What's going to be next from you guys?
I mean, we're just starting up. We're right now prototyping a lot of new game ideas that you won't see probably this year, but next year.
Okay.
But yeah, very creative team trying to find the next Angry Birds, I guess.
Right. Well, you're still doing very well with the current Angry Birds.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the first game Angry Birds Star Wars was the first one I've obsessed with 3-starring.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing all right actually. But
Yeah?
no. How did that partnership come about?
I mean, we've been playing around with other IPs and mix and match and see what could fit, and we managed to get into LucasArts at one point,
Right.
and we didn't think they were gonna like it or approve it or anything, but it turned out well. I mean, they actually had a lot of humor. I mean, they've done the Lego things, and they've done a lot of similar things, and they could really recognize how this could be a fruitful relationship. So yeah, it was a long shot, but it paid off.
Excellent. So can we? I mean, I don't want to get you into trouble for saying things you shouldn't, but can we expect anything else along those sort of lines, do you think? Angry Birds One Life Left?
Couldn't tell you anything.
You can tell us whether you're making a game about us. We're fine
Not
with that.
even that.
Excellent. Well, thank you ever so much for taking the time to come on the show. Good luck for the rest of Nordic Game.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll see you around. We'll be looking.
And we look forward to working with you in the future.
Yeah, perfectly.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Back at Nordic Game, the whole place is watching us as we look out into the auditorium. We've got a crowd of many thousands of people now just gathered around our little booth, and it's quite an honour to be here.
I feel quite a lot like
really
a
is.
and we are
pizza.
flattered to get that reaction.
Hang on. I need to pose for this picture. Yes, you're welcome.
Anyway, we're not alone again.
Hooray.
Simon's done the grand job of going out there and finding us a brilliant guest.
It's TV's John Jordan.
I was once TV's John Jordan. I was.
Were you?
Yeah, I was.
What were you
So
on?
is this?
There's a weird satellite it wasn't Bravo, it was something like that. Is it about 10 years ago?
What, a game show?
It was a game show, and it was a proper game show. They had a 3-camera setup, and they had the guy who was the first presenter of Top of the Pops when they reinvigorated Top of the Pops, and he was hopeless. But he was on this game show.
You're not thinking of... Oh, no. What was that? What was that one with the...
They're all arrested now, aren't they?
We don't talk about it.
Oh. John, we should explain who you are, John Jordan.
Who am I?
Please
let me know.
What's your capacity out here? PocketGamer.biz?
I am now risen to the heady heights of editor-at-large at Pocket Gamer.
Someone's taking a photo. Just taking a photo. That guy.
Hello. It's John Jordan. Editor-at-large. What does that mean?
Yeah. It means I do a lot of work and do a lot of travelling. So it's like a lose-lose, I find it.
Are you having a nice time over here?
Yeah, not bad actually. I was in San Francisco last week, so I'm bizarrely jet lagged.
Right.
So I'm going to have to have a sleep in a minute, I think, because a big party tonight. So I have to be ready for the big party.
Matt Bock, who's flown in from San Francisco, he's been awake for 30 hours. And he didn't complain when he was on the show earlier.
There we go.
So what have you been doing out here? Who have you been seeing? What, etc.?
What have I been doing? So I was quite impressed today by the CEO of Ouya.
Ouya.
Whatever.
Ouya.
Okay. Is this an on-running joke, is it?
No, it's just how you pronounce it.
Is it? Okay. And she was very good. I didn't think she was going to be very good, but she was very good.
Why didn't you think she was going to be very good?
Bit sexist, John.
Yeah. Not because it was a she, but
yeah, you are welcome.
Free bar.
You're welcome. No,
It's a free bar now.
Anne, we could have claimed that applause for ourselves.
Thanks. Yeah, and also thanks.
She's moved over from somewhere recently, hasn't she? To join Ouya.
No, I don't think so.
Am I thinking of another company? Presumably in another lane. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so they're confident. They're out soon, aren't they?
They are out in a month's time.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and did you get to play with one?
I have not played with one. No.
That's suspicious, isn't it?
Well, it was suspicious because she said she'd lost her luggage, so that's why she didn't have one with her. But because it's a very cheap. It's like $99, so it's not very powerful. But the whole thing I was surprised about was she wasn't really talking about the hardware, because the hardware's not very interesting. But she's talking much more about kind of the interaction with the game developers and getting people like Tim Schafer involved. So
right, he's on Ouya, is he?
Yeah, they've got quite a lot of exclusives.
Right.
Yeah. But it's interesting. So when they say exclusive, they mean it's not going to be on any other TV-based platform. So people can release Ouya games on tablets and phones. Okay. But they want exclusive for TV.
We had their fierce rivals on earlier.
Oh, GameStick. And they're looking very good as well.
They seem to be, don't they? Yeah. But I can understand why GameStick would be of interest to Pocket Gamer, because it literally fit in Anne's pocket.
I mean, it did.
We tested it.
But it's quite big, so you must have big pockets.
Oh, thanks a lot.
I'm actually quite okay.
Am I some sort of foil?
Yeah, great.
I'm saying it's quite a big
GameStick? No, can fit that in my pocket, no problem.
No problems. That's their dev unit as well, though, isn't it?
So it's even bigger,
slightly larger.
Yeah.
But why is Ouya of interest to you guys? Is it just because it's Android, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. I mean, so I have invented a definition which no one else in the world but me uses, called unconsole.
Okay.
So a lot of people call them microconsoles, but I kind of see it as an unconsole.
Well, so what does that mean?
Well, I'll let you know when I know. No, so it's more about the platform. So it's not, the hardware doesn't matter anymore. I think even with PlayStation and Xbox One, maybe Xbox One it does because they've produced this horrible bit of hardware, but hardware really doesn't matter. It's about kind of more controllers and about kind of ecosystems and about can developers just put a game on the system.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I'm have that on console. But
excellent. I think the last time you were on the show was in San Francisco, wasn't it?
That's right. 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Is that How have you been?
Was I not on the show last year here?
Here, were you?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I was.
Really?
I think so.
We had you back after San Francisco.
you obviously forgot.
Well, no, I was just interested in on how things have been since then, since we last had you on. So it's been a year for you between Nordic Games.
It has.
It's a lot busier this year, isn't it?
The Nordic Games or the industry or both?
Yeah,
both.
Yes. Specifically here.
Do
you think it's were you not up for the keynote?
I saw a graph.
Chart, yeah.
There was a graph of more people. A more people graph was there. So true.
Busier, yeah, but better. Having a nice time, are you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's sunny today, which is nicer because
miserable
kind of weather matters. But the other thing was I was here a few days ago and they had the
Unite
conference as well,
yeah.
and that was also quite interesting and quite good. And so I think it's kind of interesting when you kind of these things concatenate together.
Yeah.
What do you think of the venue, John?
I like the venue. I think
It's a slaughterhouse.
What did it used
What
to
is
be?
there to like?
No, but it's nice, nice red bricks.
I think it's an amazing venue.
I think it's
and it's a slaughterhouse.
It's getting to the stage though where if it gets much bigger, they won't be able to fit everyone in, will they?
It's very difficult to move from place to place.
Well, obviously for you guys, 'cause you're famous, everyone's like mobbing you and stuff.
It's very difficult.
I know, that's why we have to be on the balcony.
Well, we're literally above Rovio. Great. Okay, so look, there's Simon parking there with beers in hand. Look, not for me. I'm not drinking today. No. He's got two. He's sticking them in his pockets. So we should let you go. Thank you for joining us.
No, pleasure.
Lovely
as
to
always.
see you as ever.
Okay.
We'll see you. When will we see you next?
I don't know. When
let's make
will you be
plans.
next? E3? Are you E3?
No,
We're not going to be at E3.
We're boycotting it. Actually, we're doing Keith's thing.
I've heard there's an E3 happening.
Yeah.
No, that's very
featuring
exciting.
John Jordans.
Well, I was in discussion with the man that I might do some footage for you. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, well, I don't know how that will happen.
So are you going to E3?
I am going to E3.
So you're going to do some footage out there?
Yes.
And beam it back?
Well, this is the general idea.
Excellent.
I don't know how that will happen.
Well, let's interview via satellite link.
I think that might be pushing it a little bit.
Let's do that. Let's definitely do that. Cool. Right. Thanks once again. We'll leave you to get on with your business. Yeah, good to see you. And we're wrapping up now, aren't we?
Are we?
That's it for day one of the full conference.
I think it is. Thanks, John. John's just sneaking out of our little
Fair enough.
little door that leads into the urinals that leads down into the thoroughfare of Nordic Game.
Ladies' toilets.
It really is a different games conference, isn't it? Okay, there's GDC, which is the big one, and then there are a lot of sort of almost satellites, not official satellites of GDC, but just conferences that don't invite us to go and broadcast there, so we're free to be mean about them.
Exactly.
This is our favourite,
Oh, it's so great here.
and
Yes.
it gives us a balcony.
Right, we should wrap up, and then we're going to head off to the awards and see if our favourite game won. And we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we will.
Excellent. We'll have a nice time between now and then, won't you?
Oh, I certainly will. Thanks, Simon.
Okay.
Oh, thanks
Okay.
very much for listening.
Right, see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.